At KIP DC, our vision is that every child grows up free to create the future they want for themselves and their communities. Nowhere should this be more true than in our nation's capital. Over the past 20 years, KIP DC has grown from a pioneering idea in education to a cornerstone of the community. What started as a promise to see 80 students off to college has grown into a school system unwavering in its focus on what is best for students. One school has become 18, 80 students has become 7,000. Together, we are grounded in a commitment to excellence, equity, and justice. As we enter our next chapter, KIP DC will build upon 2 decades of proven results to develop into a more impactful, innovative, and inclusive school system that provides joyful, identity-affirming learning experiences so that all students and alumni achieve extraordinary outcomes.
I've seen these schools. I've seen these schools. It's a great thing. The test scores in DC and the achievement of the students is very low overall. There are a lot of smart kids, but in general, it's very low. So when you find a school like this that has found a way to get the most out of these kids, it's almost like a godsend. This school is it's everything it's advertised to be. I mean, I don't think that this piece on this school is false advertisement. They produce some great students, man, some great young people. I just don't know. I just think I get to the point, man, where I just like, maybe this is who we are. Maybe this is our lot in this world as a group, as some people. Because there's no way that you would think 3 years ago that the type of stuff that's been going on in KIP schools would happen. You would never have thought that. And just back in April, this young man, Kentrell Devon, and this is not the same story I did last week with the dean at the charter school in D.C. was killed. This is a different guy who worked at a KIP school. He was a security guard at the KIP DC AIM Academy, and that's another KIP school they have in DC. He was killed. He was very beloved by the people at the school. They loved him. His community loved him. Say he was a gentle soul. And you don't see this, man. And all of you guys that follow the gun memorial with me know that you rarely see this many comments under somebody's gun memorial page. He's from a rough spot, Kenilworth. And yeah, I mean, look, it goes down over there. But and I don't know where he was killed. Oh yeah, he was killed on that side of town. I don't know if that's. I'm not sure if that is Kenilworth. I'm not sure, but 45th Street. That's over like northeast, on that northeast side. That Deanwood area, Nanny Helen Burroughs, somewhere around there. But whatever. This brother was a security guard at a KIP school in DC, and he was killed.
And with our families and our community, We'll prepare students with the skills and confidence to pursue the paths they choose, college, career, and beyond, so they can build a more just world.
First and 10, a teenager killed outside his high school in D.C. The suspect, one of his classmates.
Now, this all happened right after school let out this afternoon. Classes are canceled now for tomorrow, we've learned, at KIPP DC in Northeast. Fox 5's Lindsay Watts joining us live from outside the school with the very latest. Lindsay.
The student killed has not been identified by police, but we know he was 15 years old and the student arrested was 16. KIPP DC is a college prep academy, a charter school here in DC, and classes here only began on Monday. Police say right here in front of the school is where an altercation happened that ended in this deadly stabbing. Earlier today, right around here where I'm standing, we could see some items left behind, evidence markers around some scooters, what looks like a backpack, and some clothing. This went on right after school got out today. It was just about 3 o'clock. A DC fire source tells me that when paramedics responded here, it was a chaotic scene. This is on Brentwood Parkway, about a block from Union Market. He says there was a crowd of frantic students, parents, and administrators. That the 15-year-old stabbed was in very bad condition. He was stabbed in the chest, and paramedics performed CPR. I spoke to a DC mom tonight who helps ensure that families and friends of victims get mental health counseling after these kinds of horrible crimes involving children. She also has a connection to this school.
My children went to KIPP. KIPP is very good academically, especially when it comes to you graduating from their facility. They give you scholarships and all that, so this is very shocking. I'm pretty sure that this 15-year-old leaving out this building did not think that that was going to be his last time, leaving school.
And the interesting thing about this building used to be a school for, troubled kids. It used to be a school called Hamilton back in the day. Somebody who's been on this channel before actually used to go there. My cousin, the one did a video with a little while ago. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he went to Hamilton after being kicked out of several schools, and almost like it was like a place. It was like your last, you know what I'm saying? Like all the kids in there had been kicked out of a bunch of schools, and this was just a place with a lot of, kids with behavioral problems, of course, academic problems, and, just trouble fitting in and, following the rules and, walking in line like the other kids and, just functioning normally in a school setting for one reason or another. And it's amazing that they turned that same building into a college preparatory charter school. And I guess today the ghost of that building's past, if that's what you want, if you want to get spooky about it, crept up and reared its ugly head. But one thing about it's a culture. These kids are still coming from the same neighborhoods as all these other kids. Even though this is a college preparatory school, these kids come from the same neighborhoods as all the other kids in the public schools and what have you. And unfortunately, this is probably a precursor or a forecast future events in these KIPP schools. It's probably not a one-off. It's probably not like, this happened and, wow, that was crazy. Remember that time? No. It's most likely, the 2020s. We're in the 2020s. Crime is out of control. Millennials are out of control. They have no, understanding of life. Like, they don't understand. They're so selfish because of the world they grew up in. Like, if we would have grew up with the internet and computers in our pocket, we didn't even have computers at school. Remember, you had type the little code. What was it? What's the little code you had to type in? Remember floppy disk and all that stuff? Didn't even have a mouse. You had to type that. We didn't even have mouses on our computers when we were these kids' age. You had to type, forgot what was it? F something. The little code you had to type command if you wanted to give the computer a command. The computer was basically like a calculator. But these kids have I'm doing this on the phone. My whole channel I do on my phone. They got that in their pocket. And they got social media. So they grew up in that. They never didn't know that. So they haven't had a chance to develop like normal people. And they don't care. Life means nothing to them. Your life. Their life means a lot to them. But your life means nothing to them. So I think that this is probably going to be something that is going to, unfortunately, start to plague KIPP schools because they're going to address it. They can't address this with guns. They can't. The tricky part about this, they can't say put down the guns. Because what they would like to do is say, put down the guns. It's too many guns. We need guns, the guns. But since this kid used a knife, it's going to be very hard for them to do the old blaming the gun trick. The gun just jumped up and shot somebody by itself. This kid drove a knife into another kid's chest in front of dozens and dozens of people. In broad daylight. We can't blame the guns. So, but however they attack this problem, however the administrator and the adults in the situation attack this, they're going to do it wrong. Because it's the communitized Blackistan. They always do it wrong. They never address these situations properly. So, this will probably happen more often at these college preparatory schools.
My children went to KIPP. KIPP is very good academically, especially when it comes to you graduating from their facility. They give you scholarships and all that, so this is very shocking. I'm pretty sure that this 15-year-old leaving out this building did not think that that was going to be his last time, leaving school.
KIPP sent out a letter to parents soon after this happened, letting them know school is canceled tomorrow and that virtual counselors will be available. DC Police Chief Robert Conti was here on scene. He says an off-duty MPD officer was providing security inside the school as all of this was going on, and the officer called for backup when he saw the group of students gathered after school. He called this a senseless act.
My deepest condolences to both families involved in this situation, because whether you are the perpetrator of the crime or the deceased person in this case, it's sad, period, because this is something that did not have to happen.
The school says there will be an increased police presence as well as private security in the days ahead. Back to you.